Oh, what's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller. Now, before I get to this All Elite Wrestling review, where we tend to giving you AEW Dynamite results, the show from March 4th, 2020, where we tend to also the fallout of AEW Revolution 2020. I just want to say sorry for the delay and the hiatus, where it tends to me not giving you any YouTube contents, and also we're basically what tends to be me being a natural born driller for this YouTube channel on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna try to get back where I left off here, as the best as I can, and hopefully you'll continue on and tune in to my YouTube channel known as Natural Born Driller. But out of the way, let's get, and I basically mentioned that a little bit more while I was doing WWE Elimination Chamber review for the WWE basically. Okay, now let's get into this. So the show was taking place in Bloomfield, Colorado. Your commentators were Excalibur, good old JR Jim Ross, and Tony Schiavone. The show opened up with Justin Roberts introducing the new AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley. And Jon Moxley comes out and cuts a promo. But before he did, he got a loud chant of "You deserve it." So then Moxley talks about the title is beautiful and it represents pro wrestling. He says that the belt never belonged to Jericho. It doesn't even belong to him. It belongs to the fans. And he continues he continues that every fan who says that they wanted something different, AEW brought it, and basically in a way, pro wrestling is back. And I agree. Moxley says something about the AEW, returns to any man in the AEW who wants to grab this title, had to take it off of his cold dead hands. And basically, he'll take on any comers, even if it involves Chris Jericho, which he said that he knows that the war between Jericho and the Inner Circle is not over yet. So sure enough, we get Jericho coming out, and then Jericho says that he is still the champion, even with or without the belt, and saying the Moxley era, huh? He says, well, the Moxley era sucks and everything. Basically, saying it sucks ass. And then the crowds were chanting, "You suck ass" to Jericho. So Chris Jericho was out there with the Inner Circle. I should mention that too, by the way. It was not just Jericho. Jericho says that Moxley's action is going to pay dearly. What saying basically saying what Moxley's actions, excuse me, were not that of a champion. But rotates to see both eyes when Moxley made it look like he didn't see and everything, which it was clever by the way it was done. Evolution calls him a cheater because of that, and then Jericho at one point starts talking about Michael Nakazawa. Basically, Jericho saying he's going to go to carry one apart, just to get to Jon Moxley. And then Jericho makes say just to Jericho himself, Guevara versus Moxley and Allen, which is Darby Allin. He basically vowed that if he can't beat Moxley, and Moxley doesn't, if Moxley escapes out of Colorado with his 2 feet, standing there or walking away, that he will leave for 60 days. And we'll get to that later. So the Moxley ends up by saying he's going to send Jericho packing for 60 days and basically calls him a stupid son of a bitch after that. And that was it. So yeah, good opening segment. It didn't overstay its welcome, and we'll get to the main event between Moxley teaming up with Darby Allin versus Jericho and the Spanish God. We get SCU, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, and Christopher Daniels teaming up with Colt Cabana, the guy who kisses dicks, versus the Dark Order, Evil Uno, Grayson, Alex, excuse me, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver. So the match happens. It's being a good match, except for the fact that Colt Cabana has to win the match for the team with the Superman pin. After the match, Evil Uno was angry, saying it's not supposed to go down this way. He gets frustrated and everything, and he says, and the Exalted One is frustrated too, and the Exalted One is near, and yeah, there you go. There's to say about that. But the match itself, I thought was decent. Britt Baker was on commentary with Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and Excalibur, and Britt Baker brought coffee for Tony Schiavone. I don't know why she's trying to be friends with Tony Schiavone after all the insults that she gave to Tony Schiavone and everything, but I don't know. But anyways, as far as her commentary, it was nothing that special on commentary, to be honest with you. And on top of that, we just watched, she was commenting a match between Big Swole versus the Librarian, Leva Bates. Match itself wasn't that great, wasn't that decent. It was a waste of time, in my opinion, and Big Swole wins. Moving on. That was one of the worst segments so far of the show. But it's getting better after that because also we see Cody Rhodes coming out. He talks about his loss against MJF, and he said it was a hard pill to swallow. Then makes a deal with MJF by coming out to the ring and tells him that he beat him fair and square and everything. But the music plays, but it wasn't MJF's music. It was a music that we haven't heard. And basically, it's AEW's their own version of this well-known theme music for the legendary Hall of Famer in professional wrestling, and it ends up being Jake the Snake Roberts. And when he came out, I was marking out. I couldn't believe it. The legendary Jake the Snake Roberts in the AEW, and the crowds went nuts. So Jake Roberts came out and said started to spoil the party and everything to Cody Rhodes, and says, but you hear Cody Rhodes crying like a bitch. He literally said that too. He was basically saying that Cody Rhodes was crying because he suffered a loss. And Roberts saying, that he's not here to praise Cody, he's here to slay Cody. And he says that he has a client, and he says the dark side will be coming to AEW. Now, at first, I thought to myself, maybe he's going to create his own faction. But it turns out it wasn't that at all. It was just he was just going to bring in a client who is the dark side, who is part of who is in a way the dark side, because Jake Roberts in a way is also the dark side. And he's going to basically what's the word, mentor a client of his to that path, or to be just like Jake Roberts was in the since to the dark side persona. Now at the time, I think about maybe it could be Brody Lee, which will fit perfectly for Brody Lee and Jake Roberts to be together. But it ends up not being that. I'll get to that on the next review of AEW Dynamite. So basically, that's what it was. That's what it was basically. So, yeah, but it was great to see Jake Roberts there, and I'm glad to see Jake the Snake Roberts being part of AEW. So, Pac versus Chuck Taylor of the Best Friends, being covered by Orange Cassidy and Trent. So the match happens. It's a pretty decent match with Pac winning. After the match, Trey gets in the face. Trent, I meant to say, I said Trey. I meant to say Trent. Trent got in the face of Pac, and then Orange Cassidy gets in front of Trent. Also, the Lucha Bros comes out. Same thing will happen at Revolution. Happen again. They beat up on best friends. Pac joins along with them, and he gets a microphone and says that they are known as the Death Triangle, and no one, or should I say, and nobody is safe. So yeah, we got a new faction. Now, I wasn't crazy about the faction, just like I wasn't crazy about the faction's name, but then again, this is so there's something new and fresh here that we're getting, and I never thought to see a pairing between Pac and the Lucha Brothers together. But based on what I saw on the next review of AEW Dynamite, I have a different opinion of it, but I'll get to that when I get to that review eventually. Jake Hager with Sammy Guevara and not Sammy Guevara. I meant to say Santana and Ortiz, Proud and Powerful, versus QT Marshall with Brandy Rose and Dustin Rose at QT Marshall's corner. So basically, it's a match between Jake Hager and QT Marshall. Decent match with Jake Hager winning. After the match, you had Dustin Rose come in there because I guess he's oh, that's right, because Jake Hager refused to let go of the hole on QT Marshall. So Dustin Rose comes in to break it up, only to get beat up by Santana Ortiz. And then Clay Rose comes out to help out his brother, but then he gets laid out by Jake Hager. Then we get Matt Jackson coming out for the save, but he gets taken out. And there was a thing about Nick Jackson not being there because I'll get to that when I do the next review of AEW Dynamite, because I'll try to remember if it was on the next episode of it. But I'll remember it once I get to the next review of it. But Matt Jackson takes a swing at Jake Hager. Jake Hager takes him out. Also, drunken man Adam Page drinking his beer and everything to the ring. We didn't know what his motive was going to help the inner circle, was going to help the elite. So he chose to help the elite. Oh, by the way, I think also. That's right. Kenny Omega wasn't there. I forgot. It was the other review that he ends up being there. But yeah. So Heyman at Pace takes out the inner circle. With him drinking some beer and whiskeys before the show and everything. And he's drinking beer as he's walking out to help out the elite. And actually finished beating up the elite. I mean, not the elite, the inner circle. Excuse me. Heyman and Page and Matt Jackson, meant to say, got into each other's face. Page gives him the middle finger and takes his beer and walks out here because he did his job to help out the elite. Excuse me. So I thought that was good. And the match itself, like I said, between Jake Hager and QT Marshall, it was decent. Then we go backstage and we see MJF with Wardlow. And he says that he indeed has closed the final chapter of Cody Rhodes, and says that to the fans should pick someone new to follow, and that's basically MJF. MJF plans on staying undefeated in AEW, and doesn't matter who he'll face. Basically, he wants a shot of the AEW World Championship because he's better than, and then he starts taking he's like saying, "Oh, it's getting hot here." By the way, take off his jacket, and he reveals a T-shirt that says "I pinned Cody," and he says it's distracting and obnoxious. Yeah, it was distracting and obnoxious, like a tattoo neck, or a neck tattoo. Basically, taking a shot at Cody's tattoo on his neck. Yes, I agree with MGF, because if you're gonna have a tattoo at that, I don't mind him getting that type of tattoo, but the placement of the tattoo on your neck was not a smart thing to do. But yeah, that was good by MJF. He's a class heel. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. Unfortunately, Jon Moxley didn't make it to the ring because he gets attacked, in the middle of his entrance in the crowd by three masked luchadors, and they reveal themselves to being Hager, Santana, and Ortiz. They beat up on Moxley out backstage until finally Moxley couldn't fight them off anymore, and then basically Darby Allin has to face it on his own against Jericho and Guevara. Later on, he had the Inner Circle, finally make it to at ringside, and Darby Allin at one point, he realized he couldn't make a tag, and you have Jake Hager, Santana Ortiz, teasing him, saying, "Well, who you gonna tag?" And like, go tag, who you gonna tag? Right? And then Darby Allin gets to the corner where Moxley is supposed to be at. Then he tags himself. He basically, Darby Allin tagged himself. And I said to myself, what? And then all of a sudden, his mood changed, and he found new life, and he started beating up on Jericho and Guevara. He started getting momentum and everything. He takes out the rest of the Inner Circle, and then he's going to take out Jericho from the outside, but then Jericho catches him in midair with the juice effect, which the way basically how that was done by the way. Darby Allin was doing a suicide dive, or in the way Tope Suicida to Jericho, but Jericho gets him with the juice effect in midair and puts him back in the ring for Guevara to get the win. Jericho and Guevara wins the match. After the match, Jon Moxley, was backstage with the doctors. He and referees tried on, and the referees and everything tried on, chased him to stop him for going to the Inner Circle, but it was no use because Moxley, instead of going to the Inner Circle, beats up on the entire Inner Circle, only to get beaten down again, and to a point where they took him to the stage, and they basically had Santana Ortiz lift up Jon Moxley for Jake Hager to do a powerbomb, or in this way, the Shield triple powerbomb to Moxley off the stage through a table, and then they did the fist bump, to each other with middle finger sticking up to end the show. And that was AEW Dynamite, where it takes to the fallout of AEW Revolution 2020. And I thought, besides what happened with the women's segments, this was a home run. Except for one thing. Where the hell was Lance Archer? Because they've been promoting that Lance Archer was going to make his debut on this particular episode of AEW Dynamite, and he no-show. I don't understand. That was a false advertisement there, on AEW's part. Why not say he was going to be there, and then he ends up not being there? Just saying. Talking about wrestling for AEW Dynamite, the show from March 3rd, 2020. March 4th, 2020. 5 matches. And my overall rating for the show, I'm going to go with 8.5 out of 10. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. For It's Natural Born Driller, saying peace on the streets. This was your AEW Dynamite results from March 4th, 2020 for this All Elite Wrestling review. Until next time, folks, you all stay well, stay safe, protect yourselves for pertains to the coronavirus situation. And I'm out. Take care. And ta-ta for now.